I know you've been doing a lot of great work with a lot of different street content, and you recently had this clip go viral of you asking this guy about white privilege at UT Austin. So let's play it here.
I grew up as a white man, and you're the exact opposite, you know? And so it's like my experiences are going to be different from yours.
How come?
I think, there's a thing of like white privilege.
What privileges do you have that I don't have?
Oh, see, that's a question I keep asking myself, because like in this day and age, like all the laws, it's hard to speak on something I'm not fully knowledgeable of. So like, I'm sorry if I like make a mistake in saying this, but it's
Don't you think it's a problem in society when white people think that they have more privileges than brown or black people?
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the agenda that's pushed off, because personally, it's like, not that I think I'm more privileged than anyone else, because I had to work to get where I was, and that's like
So why do you have that mentality immediately where you kind of apologize to me, like, let's talk about privilege, let's talk about I'm a white man in America, so we could have grown up differently.
I got you.
Why is that your first initial reaction to me as a brown woman?
Wow, you're getting me good. See, these are the kind of conversations that I love having. And I think it comes from a place of like, I wouldn't say caution, but like in this day and age, people are so quick to judge and react and cancel. And so I guess it's that like caution to go into an interview like this. I'm like, I don't know where we're at, but now I know where we're at, and I can like go for real.
It's funny how he kind of implicitly acknowledges that he knows what's wrong with the system, right? He knows he's very quick to be canceled and that the system in many ways is biased against white guys, which is why he is so scared. Sav, why do you think it is that people like this are so terrified to even say anything remotely normal or sane or common sense?
Well, it's because of our education system, Vince. It's because they've been indoctrinated since their youth and told that white men are bad, that they have privileges, that black and brown people are oppressed, that minorities cannot make it in the United States of America, that the KKK and racism are running so rampant on our streets, that we have minorities living in fear for their lives, which is just absolutely not true. And Vince, you and I are a great testament to this. We are basically the American dream, right? We're minorities in this country that we're able to have our freedom of speech, able to utilize all of the opportunity in this country to absolutely make it. So I'm very tired of our education system indoctrinating and brainwashing our youth into thinking that they're victims if they're minorities, that if they're white people, that they are bad. You can't choose the color of the skin that you're born with, but you can choose the mindset that you have, especially in countries like the United States of America. Now, Vince, I have read a lot about what it's like to live under an oppressive regime like North Korea. Those people are truly oppressed. Do you think that if they spoke out against the government that they wouldn't immediately be killed? That's what the average American thinks. Well, minority American thinks is going to happen to them if they speak out against the government, if they fight for racial justice, if they try to make it in America. They think that they're so oppressed and they're so victimized that this entire system is keeping them down, when in fact, it's the exact opposite. If you are a minority in this country, let's, for example, trying to get into a prestigious school, if you're black or brown, you have a higher percentage and it's much easier for you to get into these prestigious universities because of your skin tone. If you're white or Asian, not as easy. So just another testament and example in our society is, and I'm tired of white people apologizing for their skin tone. I'm tired of them acting like they have these privileges that everybody else in the same country does not have and do not have. So again, that's why it's important for us to go and have these students critically think about what they're saying, because it's all propaganda that has been drilled into their brains over years.
Yeah, it's so true. And, I think obviously you're right. There is a high degree of mobility in America. But a concern I actually have is that is starting to slip away and dissipate in the opposite direction. Because when I look at, things like affirmative action and the diversity quotas and all this stuff, I wouldn't even say, or at least it's getting to the point where America is not really like an equal society, rather that there is actually an institutional bias against white people. Would you agree with that? Do you think we're culturally moving to the point where it's not even a level playing field anymore, but they're starting to build a very strong bias actually against the white people?
Absolutely, Vince. We have on college campuses events where it's brown and black people only, whites not allowed. Whites don't come to this event because of your privileges, because we don't like you. We have so many American minorities that will actively call white people animals, call for them to be killed, call them subhuman, and they don't face the consequences as, let's say, a white person who reversed that rhetoric would have. So there is inherent bias against the white community in the United States of America. And we are seeing racism against white people. And it's very sad to see. And that's why it's important for, again, and you know what, Vince, I don't even like using the term minority. I think it's ridiculous. I view everybody as an American because we all have the same rights. We all have the same opportunities. Granted, not everybody starts off on the same foot. But if white privilege really was this issue that was embedded in society, then explain poor white people. Why is it that we had a black president? Why is it that we have black CEOs in this country? Explain that to me if we have such an institutionalized racism against brown and black people here in the United States.
Yeah, and it is true, right? You're sort of, I know you went to East Palestine recently. Your average East Palestine white person living there has very little institutional power. Society is not actively working in favor of them. And it's so true. All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show, Sav. You're doing great work. And really quickly tell the audience where they can find you.
Thank you so much for having me, Vince. Go follow me on YouTube at Sav Says, on Twitter at Sav_says_, and Instagram at Sav with one N. Also my website, savsaysofficial.com. Sorry, I have a lot of places you can follow me.
All right. Be sure to do that, chat. Thanks for coming on. Do you know what this is right here? This is a can of Celsius. Celsius is an energy drink that destroys your liver. Do you know what does not destroy your liver, though? Leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, so be sure to do so, and be sure to check out The Vince Dao Show every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which likewise does not destroy your liver. Celsius, destroy liver. Liking and subscribing does not. Last I checked, I do the math. If you like and subscribe, you still have one functional liver. Can't say the same about the Celsius, so do that.